Y'all, I'm not even trying to make this video. Didn't even want to do it, but since this is, partially a wrestling review channel, I gotta talk about it. Monday Night Raw was trash. Pure garbage. I'm gonna try to run through this fast as hell, but man, if you don't watch Raw and just watch the YouTube clips, you're gonna get everything. It starts off CM Punk and Jey Uso segment, basically just saying, Punk is like, hey, are you gonna be able to, get the job done, blah, blah, blah. And Punk's like, oh, yeah, I respect you, main event Jey Uso. And then Jey Uso turns around and say, you're trying to make me look like the bad guy. How is Punk trying to make you look like the bad guy if he just was like, oh, I respect you? It's dumb. Pretty sure Jey Uso's going to lose that Saturday Night Main Event. Then you got Penta versus Rusev, which was actually a decent match. But then you had Dominic hire the Los Americanos to interfere. They whooped on Penta and Rusev, but didn't even get the job done because they got back in the ring and ran them off, which was stupid. Then you had Roxanne versus Nikki Bella. To be honest, I didn't even watch this match, and just seems like Roxanne beat her fair and square, which makes sense, honestly. Nikki Bella can't hang with Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez came from NXT, but there's a reason why she got called up to the main roster. And Nikki Bella still has that diva moveset. That old women's wrestling moveset. But, yeah, Roxanne Perez should have went over anyway. Then you get Brian Baker versus LA Knight, which was actually, a type of match people would like to see, because instead of that flippy dippy wrestling we get on SmackDown nonstop, just flippy dippy wrestling. It's okay if you have 3 or 4 guys flippy dipping, or you have an entire cruiserweight division that's dedicated to that. But it was great seeing some normal wrestling. Brian Breaker goes over, which he should go over just for the story. But LA Knight is getting nothing. I would rather LA Knight, I don't want to see LA Knight go back down to like Intercontinental or US. No. LA Knight needs that title. It's just they don't know when to put it on him. Next, Sheamus versus JD. No one asked for this. This was just a match to fill time. I didn't even watch this, but supposedly Judgment Day cheated so JD could win. But I like the fact that JD stood up and was like, yeah, I'm going to beat Sheamus. He wasn't scared of Sheamus. That I like that. Next, you had the botch fest of the year, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Bayley and Lyra. Now, this match was a botch fest, but it was still a nice match. I'm not gonna lie. Like, yeah, they botched, but they kept going to where, if you're not a wrestling head, you won't catch the botches. This match basically proved that Lyra belongs in that big league. Like, she can hang. She's not just a NXT jobber. Lyra is pretty strong the way she had put, Alexa Bliss in that, I don't know, chicken wing cradle. I don't even know what that move called. But honestly, If Lyra, when she did that move, it was almost like a backwards Walls of Jericho, like a reverse Boston Crab, that would actually be a solid move, because your opponent actually wouldn't be able to get out of that shit. Man, y'all gotta watch that. I'm gonna have to put that, maybe try to get that clip some kind of way. But your opponent won't be able to get out of that. Like the way she did it was fire. I mean, but she turned it into that cradle rocking nonsense. But if you keep that move, like the setup for that move, man, that's a reverse Boston Crab. And I think that's going over people's heads, man. A reverse Boston Crab. Like, bruh. Like y'all gotta just go watch that again when she do it, because it looks fire. But, Asuka had her vignette earlier, like a tribute, probably to take a dig at Goldberg, which is, Asuka is a million times better than Goldberg. But the Kabuki Warriors, Charlotte Flair and them win, okay? They win the match. The Kabuki Warriors attack them. They don't attack Bayley, which I honestly would like to see this happen. Asuka's on a power trip. Bayley is psycho. Kari and Lyra are like lackeys. Kari and Lyra teaming up versus Asuka and Bayley in the future sounds great, but let's get there sooner than later. Don't long-term storytell that for 9 months. Please don't do that. But heel Asuka and psychotic Bayley would be an unstoppable tag team. Like, just think about that for a little while. Psychotic Bayley versus heel Asuka probably won't lose a match for like a year. And then maybe you could call up Lash Legend and Jada Parker or something like that to stop them or something. Like, that'll be like the only force that could stop them. We don't want Io and Rhea in a tag team division. We don't want that. Bring up like Lash Legend them, to get them some legitimacy. But WWE would never do that because AI is writing their stuff. But man, I'm giving this Raw, I really have to give this Raw like a 2 out of 10. I mean, bruh, like you can't brain rot yourself. Honestly, I prefer everyone to do this. Don't watch Raw when it starts. Watch Raw, 1 hour after it starts, and skip through those commercials on Netflix. And then you won't have to sit there for the whole time and watch every commercial and fall asleep. But I had to do this review. I didn't want to do it, but I'll post this garbage later. Peace.